Rings of Saturn, the most spectacular structure in our solar system, is vanishing. Not forever, but this year something strange is going to happen. Something that's only visible once every 15 years. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss it entirely. You see, these rings aren't just floating ornaments. They're colossal, dynamic, ever-shifting bands of icy particles stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers across. And yet, by the end of this year, they will appear to vanish before our very eyes. But how? How can something so massive, something so bright, suddenly fade into near invisibility? That's the mystery we're diving into today. And the answer? It has to do with geometry, motion, and the precise way we are positioned in space. In 2025, Saturn will reach a special point in its orbit where we, on Earth, view its rings edge-on, almost perfectly aligned. And when that happens, the giant sweeping bands of icy debris become thinner than a razor's edge from our perspective. It's not magic, it's pure orbital mechanics, but it's one of those rare cosmic moments that make you stop and ask, what else are we only seeing from the wrong angle? Because what you're about to witness isn't just a disappearance, it's a reminder that in space everything is about perspective. So if you ever dreamed of seeing Saturn through a telescope, if you ever looked up and wondered just how real those images are, then get ready, because this is your chance to witness a planetary illusion, one that's been billions of years in the making. This is the story of Saturn's vanishing rings, and why 2025 might be your last best chance to see them like this. Let's begin. So, are Saturn's rings actually vanishing? Well, not quite, but what's happening in 2025 is just as fascinating. And it all comes down to how we are seeing them from Earth. To understand this illusion, we have to zoom out. Literally, Saturn is tilted, just like Earth has a tilt of 23.5 degrees. Saturn's actual tilt is about 26.7 degrees. That tilt affects not just its seasons, but how we see its famous rings. Imagine a giant hula hoop spinning around Saturn's equator. Most of the time we see that hoop at an angle, which makes the rings look wide, bright, and dramatic through telescopes and spacecraft images. But every 14 to 15 years, something subtle but extraordinary happens. As Saturn orbits the Sun, there are two moments called ring plane crossings, when the rings line up edge-on with Earth. Instead of that wide open disk, we are now looking directly at the thin edge of the rings. And guess what? That edge is incredibly thin. The rings are over 270,000 kilometers wide, but in vertical thickness, just about 10 meters in some places. That's thinner than a two-story house. From our vantage point, they almost vanish. This isn't a trick or an eclipse. It's orbital geometry, one of those cosmic alignments that makes the universe feel like it's got a flair for the dramatic. In 2025, this rare alignment happens twice. In fact, one already happened in March, and another one again in November. During those periods, Saturn's rings will appear to fade, becoming faint silvers instead of the brilliant halos we are used to. But don't worry, they are still there. You just can't see them the same way anymore. Kind of like staring at the edge of a credit card from across the room. Now, here is where it gets even more interesting. As the rings turn edge-on, they also reflect far less sunlight. That makes them harder to observe, even through powerful telescopes. And for a brief time, if you're watching with the naked eye or basic backyard equipment, Saturn might look like a planet with no rings at all. Of course, astronomers and skywatchers know what's really going on. They've been waiting for this, because these rare edge-on moments give us more than just a cool visual illusion. They provide a chance to study the rings in ways we can't when they are tilted. During the last ring plane crossing, scientists used the alignment to search for faint new moons, hidden clumps of ice, and subtle gravitational effects. Some of those discoveries are still being analyzed today. So yes, Saturn's rings are disappearing, but only from our point of view, and only for a little while. And if you know where to look, it's one of the most surreal sights in the sky. If you're enjoying diving into the unknown with me today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow and tells the algorithm you like the content that actually makes you think. Smash that like button if you learned something new, and share this video with a fellow space nerd or conspiracy theorist, and let's get the conversation going. And if you want to go even deeper, join our growing community on Reddit and Discord. Links are waiting for you down in the description. Now, back to the video. So, you're convinced. You want to witness Saturn's disappearing rings for yourself. The good news, you absolutely can, but timing is everything. In 2025, Saturn will experience a ring plane crossing, an event that only occurs about once every 14 to 15 years. During this rare alignment, the rings turn perfectly edge-on to Earth, making them appear to vanish, and it doesn't just happen once. There were two windows in 2025. One happened on March 23rd, 2025, and it was the first ring plane crossing. The second one happens on November 15th, 2025. In the weeks leading up to and shortly after these dates, Saturn's rings will appear thinner and thinner, until they seem to disappear entirely for a few days. That's when Saturn will look almost naked through even decent backyard telescopes. Now, you might be wondering, how can I actually see this? You don't need a 10,000 observatory. In fact, with a basic amateur telescope, something in the 4 to 6 inch range, you can witness this celestial illusion from your own backyard. Even binoculars will show the rings getting noticeably narrower. The best view was in early 2025 and again in late 2025 in late October through December. These are the times when the rings are still visible but rapidly fading or just starting to reappear. If you're lucky enough to live in an area with dark skies and minimal light pollution, this could be one of the best observational events of the decade. And if you're not, you can still follow along through live streams from observatories around the world. And don't forget, this isn't just a show for your eyes. Astrophotographers will be out in full force trying to capture the disappearing rings. If you ever wanted to try imaging Saturn, 2025 is the year to do it. Because once this moment passes, you won't get another chance until 2040. Saturn's disappearing rings might seem like a neat visual trick, a cosmic party trick performed once every 15 years. But look closer, and this rare event offers a powerful reminder of something astronomers have known for centuries. In space, perspective is everything. When we see Saturn's rings vanish from view, it's not because anything physical is changing. They aren't collapsing or dissolving, it's simply our vantage point that's shifted. And that simple fact teaches us a lot. It reminds us that what we observe in the cosmos depends entirely on where we are. Change the angle, you change the story. This same concept explains why eclipses are possible, why stars appear to twinkle, and why galaxies can look dramatically different depending on how we are viewing them. It also underlines just how fragile and fleeting our perfect views of the universe really are. But there is another layer to this moment, one that speaks to the future of Saturn's rings themselves. You see, while the 2025 ring plane crossing is just an illusion, scientists believe the real disappearance of the rings is actually underway. According to NASA's Cassini data, Saturn's rings are slowly raining down onto the planet, process driven by gravity and magnetic interactions. It's called ring rain, and over the next 100 million years, Saturn's majestic halos could fade for real. So, in a strange twist, the temporary illusion we'll witness in 2025 may actually mirror the planet's distant future. And it's not just poetic, it's a vital opportunity for science. During past ring crossings, astronomers discovered new moons, refined mass estimates, and even observed the way light passes through the rings, revealing their density and structure. These moments of near invisibility are like an astronomical X-ray, allowing scientists to study what they can't always see when the rings are wide open. This is why events like these matter. They are not just pretty, they are revealing, and they remind us that the sky is full of patterns, alignments, and cycles, many of which play out over decades or even centuries. So when you catch something like this, something rare, elegant, and fleeting, it's not just a spectacle, it's a chance to understand the cosmos just a little bit better. So are Saturn's rings really vanishing? Not permanently, at least not yet, but they are putting on a show, and it's one you won't want to miss. In 2025, we are not witnessing destruction or disappearance, we are witnessing an alignment. A perfect cosmic coincidence that only happens twice every 15 years. And for a few fleeting weeks, Saturn, the jewel of the solar system, will look like it's lost its crown. It's not just a spectacle for astronomers. It's not just an illusion for stargazers. It's a reminder that space is always changing, and so is our view of it. That razor-thin perspective, the way the rings seem to melt away from sight, it's more than just an astronomical trick. It's a lesson in humility. In the grand theater of the cosmos, we are not just an audience. We are participants. Our planet's position, our orbit, our timing, it all shapes what we see. And that makes events like this feel personal. Because it means you, right now, at this moment in history, have a front row seat to something rare, something timeless. The next person to see this won't do so until 2040. So here is my question to you. Will you be watching? If you ever looked up at Saturn and felt that tug, that sense of awe, then don't let this pass you by. Grab a telescope, find a dark sky, or tune in to one of the live observatory streams. But be there. And while you're here, subscribe for more deep dives into mysteries of our universe. Share in the comments, have you ever seen Saturn with your own eyes? And send this to someone who's never seen the rings, because this might be the best chance they'll ever get. The universe is always changing, but curiosity? That never fades. Thank you for watching, keep looking up.